and welcome to Clarity in Complexity, the Lockton Asia podcast dedicated to helping businesses navigate today's business challenges. I'm your host, Grace Fong. In today's world, HR leaders are facing the perfect storm. Surging costs, complex regulations, and employees' needs are changing rapidly. So how do we build a benefit strategy that works? In this episode, Connected Intelligence, where human insights meets digital innovation in employees. We will be discussing how smart data, digital tools, and deep human insights can help you create benefits program that truly connects with your workforce. And joining me today is our illustrious leader, Cedric Loire, Head of People Solutions in Asia. Cedric, it's great to have you with us. So you've been doing this for a long time. Before we start, could you share your journey and also how this topic is so important to you?
Thank you, Grace. I'm not so sure about being illustrious, but indeed I've been in the industry for quite some time, over 30 years, I must say. So it is a long time. Certainly a privilege to join you today in this podcast, and thanks everyone for joining us. As Grace mentioned, I head the People Solutions in Lockton, and what that means is that I lead a team of consultants and experienced brokers in helping to look for solutions and services that help our client where it matters the most, which is their people. And it's the most important asset, obviously. And we are looking at products and services that will allow them to better engage their workforce so that their employees can bring the best to their workforce, to their workplace. A bit of my backstory: an engineer by training, joined the industry by accident, and since mid-90s in many roles, and now in a broking and consulting firm, I've been enjoying the industry, and I love the nature of the work, being able to help people in improving their life physically, mentally, and financially. And that's exactly the reason why this topic is so important to me as we enter into another era. And many people are saying that this is the fifth industrial revolution. And I feel more than ever now, with the connected people, product, and services, with the right level of data, with the right level of insights and human touch, it is going to be able to possibly bring the best solutions and services to our client and their employees.
From an engineer to this, that's amazing. What a leap. So let's dive into our theme today, Connected Intelligence, where human insights meet digital innovation in employee benefits. It's a long phrase, it's a long theme. And we touched on this a little bit earlier before this whole session. It's really about deriving insights, isn't it? It's really about using data, information, and turning them into intelligence that can help our clients find new perspectives. So on one hand, we have business leaders who are naturally quite commercially driven. And on the other, we have HR leaders who are deeply people-focused. So it feels like HR is constantly in a juggling act between the two. So in the context of multinational, where their workforce is widely diverse, how do you think connected intelligence can help bridge this gap?
I mean, great points that you're bringing up, Grace. For multinationals in the industry, as we have been serving them for a long time, they are always looking at how they can better govern the benefit strategy across the world. In a way, because of the previous limitation, they tend to try to be a lot more structured, simplify their benefit environment, and try and make things a bit more uniform across different markets and countries. In today's world, I think we are in a much better position now, being able to be more connected. Having said that, on the flip side, if you look at the macroeconomy, the political environment, we are getting more and more polarized. And that's affecting how multinational can better govern their benefit strategy across the world. And for us to be able to bring that right level of products and services, I think connected intelligence for us means that we can actually bring a team of experts in different country and market to deliver the right solution that is more locally relevant to the multinationals' operation at every country, but at the same time, using our internal expertise in a consulting environment to bring that insights and data into a space where we can help the multinational globally to still deliver a globally consistent message to their employees across the world and help them to derive better insights and make better decisions.
That's fabulous for a multinational where potentially they have deep pockets. What about SMEs, the backbone of Asia economy? How do you think they are looking to tackle this challenge?
And you are exactly right in pointing out that small and medium-sized enterprise, it is the backbone of many economies. In fact, I think almost all the countries and market, more than 80% of their workforce is working in SMEs. And traditionally, in the SME context, it is a problem because the market always feel that because of their number of workforce, they tend to look for lower price product. They tend to look for simplified products and services. But I think given the size of their workforce, and people are the same, whether they are working for SME or multinational, their needs and wants are actually exactly the same. And again, in the past, we used to have the challenge in being able to deliver the right level of products and services for a small population. But in today's world, as technology has evolved, we feel that it is an environment where we can truly bring the right products and services, be more holistic, be able to connect, and we come back to the connect intelligent, be able to connect all the suppliers into, let's say, a single digital platform to deliver more holistic and broader services and product for the employees of the SME, and thereby elevating their experience in working for the employer, even though they're not that big as the multinationals.
That's fantastic. So you mentioned about employees' needs. How do you think that has evolved over time?
It's a good question. If we look at today's world, the workplace has evolved massively. We now have 4, sometimes 5 generations of workforce in the same company, and therefore each of their generation, the needs and wants are very different. There are more and more younger generation, millennials, Gen Z that's entering the workforce. As they become a bigger proportion of the workforce, the desire of them having to have a purpose in their career is starting to reflect more and more in the benefit strategy and design of companies wanting to deliver better solutions and wanting to take care of their employee and better be able to engage their employee. That shows up very clearly in a lot of our surveys and insights. And purpose is actually very subjective and difficult to implement. And therefore, in today's environment, in order for us to be able to deliver a broader solution, to be able to cater to the younger generation's needs, we do need to look at a deeper level of insights and intelligence, look at how they behave when we implement different strategy, look at how they utilize the benefits. And again, the younger generation wants a faster way of consuming their benefits, wants an easier way of accessing data, and thereby, in today's more digitalized world, the technology are more evolved, we are able to then bring this sort of connected supplier, client, employee benefit environment and strategy for better execution.
You've covered a lot, and let's unpack that carefully, right? You talk about flexibility. You talk about purpose. You talk a little bit also about helping HR connect, presumably, systems.
Yes.
Because they're so varied. And the evolution of technology is so rapid. What intrigues me is all of this evolution is going at such a fast pace. How do you think HRs are feeling about it? First question. What tips would you provide or frameworks could you think about advising HR leaders to think about as they're navigating through this rapid change?
All in all, I think the most important thing is the desire to do something. I think if you look at benefits as an industry, for the last 1, 2, or even 3 decades, there's been very limited changes in terms of how or the kind of benefit we provide for our employee. It's usually revolving around group insurance, where they cover people's term life and medical benefit. And that's been the key benefit, apart from the non-insured program like salary, holidays, leave, and all that. So there's very limited changes. But in today's world, as we said, more and more multi-generation workforce are coming into place, their needs and wants are different. It is time for the HR to say that they want to do something. And so that's really the first step that they need to do. And in order to make the change, I think if we take a step back, we are in the industry that they are not really looking for revolutionary changes. The industry has evolved through times. There has been some changes in terms of more products and services to wrap around the traditional life and medical benefits. You start to hear more people talking about wellbeing program. And so there is a desire to change at the evolutionary pace rather than a radical change. So I think leveraging on the environment that today's world are more connected, technologies are more available. If the HR thinks that it is time for them to change their benefit program, that's a very good first step. And employees are employees. I don't think they are also looking for massive changes in their benefit program by the company. If you can do changes on a year-to-year basis and give employee more and more, they will feel that the employers are actually taking care of them progressively rather than making a massive change to the program. And one thing we always need to note that the budget for benefits is always finite. I mean, we can increase once in a while, but you don't get the employer or the company to suddenly have 2 times or 3 times the benefits budget. So as we look at evolutionary changes, we can make the environment better on a progressive manner.
So you're really thinking or asking HR to think mid to long term when it comes to the whole aspect around benefits, because now as you're talking about people's well-being, it's not an instantaneous change,
Yes.
is it? It's not something that you can say, let's get someone active, and all of a sudden next day they lose 300 pounds.
Exactly.
That's great. So with all these programs in place, sounds like it's an exciting time for HR. Now, HR has to always deal with one very important person or team in an organization. I'm sure you know who they are. It's the CFO or the business owners. So how do you think HRs or we should be helping HRs in terms of them figuring out how to measure the return on investments? Or nowadays we're hearing about the value on investments. What's your advice?
From an employee or workforce perspective, I think the value or the return on the money that you spend doesn't come in rate of return. It's not like a typical investment where if we invest $100, we're expecting 5, 6, 10% rate of return. In a workforce environment, we typically look at the return in terms of value, and value can be translated in a few different possibilities. One of which in the sense that I like to measure the most is employee experience. How do you improve the experience? Because at the end of it, you want the workforce to bring their best into their work environment. Therefore, they are more productive, and the company can be highly effective, delivering the value to their own sets of clients, and therefore makes more money for the company. And that experience is fundamentally how I think will drive value. And employee experience can be measured through engagement survey, through regular touch point with the employee, through the utilization of their benefit and therefore their usage pattern, their behavior. We can actually tell the employer whether Are the employees resonating to the program that they implement? Are they more engaged? Are they happier in the workforce or in the workplace? So that they can then put that matrix into their regular assessment of the workforce effectiveness.
I really like what you said about the measures of effectiveness through value. And that value is typically not an easy matrix to measure. And I think this is where, if we're able to measure that value, that we can ensure employees' experience are good and we are engaging them, I have a feeling that there's something that could be a hero in this story. Digital innovation. Is that where we're going? Is digital, I mean, how is digital platforms completely reshaping the way benefits are delivered? I know there has been historic evidence to show that many of these platforms are separate. Many of these platforms that have come to market are also static and very transactional. They just deal with maybe enrollments or maybe even claims. But employees' life isn't static. Employees' life is very dynamic. So how is Lockton's digital approach different?
I think we are in the journey, or we are on a journey going through the process of helping our client to be more connected. Again, coming back to today's theme, the connectivity for technology platform is important. For the past 7-10 years, or maybe 12 years, post the era of iPhone rolling out in the market, there is a proliferation of mobile application. And it's not just the mobile application, but it's also the desktop application. And you're right, employees are dealing with multiple different applications for everything that they do in the work environment. We think that at this point of time, it is going through a stage of consolidation. And in Lockton, we are trying to help our client to expedite that adoption of technology, but also to help them to be more connected. Take a simple example. We have recently rolled out what we call Lockton Engage. It is a platform for us wanting to help our client to better engage their employee. And engagement comes in different shapes or form. In our context, Lockton Engage will be able to help our client consolidate some of their key proposition to the employee in order to engage them better. And that could include things like flexible benefit, that could include things like wellbeing program, that could include things like rewards or recognition, or simply just to find a way to say thank you to their employee more effectively. And with Lockton Engage, we are able to consolidate all of this offering in not separated into 3-4 different platforms, but just one single login, so that the employer can roll out different programs at different point of time through the same platform and engage the employee at different stage of the year. So in the beginning of the year, they could enroll their employee. The employee can go into the platform and choose their flexible benefits. Throughout the year, every month, some employee may have a birthday celebration. They can go to the platform, either receive a gift or incentive from their employer, or to receive birthday wishes from their fellow colleagues. And at the same time, as we go through the program in organizing different events, different health and well-being activities or initiative, HR can actually go through the platform and register, enroll people into the program, so that they know that the program they roll out have got the right level of engagement. They can measure different activity and the utilization of their benefit. They can see how employees are engaged in different activity, different proposition, and thereby helping them to have better insights into what will attract their employee and how employees are resonating to the program so that they can change it along the way.
I love what you've just shared. And I love the fact that there's so many different aspects that you can engage with the client, with your client and their employees. So this is all around employee engagement. We cannot talk about digital innovation without mentioning AI, the fantastic 2-character word.
Sure.
Looking ahead, how should HR be thinking about AI and using AI within the HR function?
I think AI is changing a lot of things in the workplace. One is that it is helping us to be more effective and efficient. Just by the fact of having AI, we could actually consolidate a lot of the data and help HR to effectively respond to the employees' needs. As an example, if we can use generative AI more effectively, that would mean that HR can easily go into an AI platform, ask the platform about what's their current benefit and how benefit can change in the next program cycle. And AI can certainly provide some response. Or there is another option where we can roll out a AI chatbot so that the employee can actually ask questions, understand their current status of their benefit program, check for eligibility, inquire about benefit designs and changes. All these can be effectively implemented into the workplace, increase the level of effectiveness, potentially help the employee to be more engaged in the program because they understand the program better. On the flip side, there is always a risk of leveraging on AI. It could be that we are relying too much on AI in the sense of making decisions for us. We are not at the stage where AI is mature enough to help us to effectively change the program and engage employee. Because whatever questions you're asking the AI very much depends on the prompt. They call it prompt engineering. There are a lot of courses about how we can enter a prompt in order to get an answer. And having the right prompt is not that easy. Plus, the prompt will also only gather the information currently available in the internet, and that might not be very suitable for their specific situation, their workforce construct, or the needs and wants of their employee. So there's a lot more things that we can do about how we can engage the employee better, how we can gather more feedback or responses from the employee so that we can turn information into actually actionable intelligence and be more connected in both the employer and employee environment.
That's really fantastic advice, Cedric. It also shows that how when digital-first systems and thinking are being used, it can truly have a powerful impact on people's business. So for our listeners who want to dive even more deeply into these ideas, this is a bit of a perfect segue into talking about the upcoming Asia Benefits Forum. So, and I know that the Asia Benefits Forum is built entirely around this theme of connected intelligence, where the concepts actually get put in practice and come to life. I hear that this year's forum is going to be expanding to 4 locations, and which is like a huge testament to the demand that it's been craving for. Could you tell us a little bit about the expansion and what can attendees look forward to?
Well, the Global Benefit Forum has been in Lockton environment for over 10 years. We've been running this on a regular basis since the last 10 years. And in Asia, we tend to do it between Hong Kong and Singapore. 1 year in Hong Kong, 1 year in Singapore. The reason why this year we have decided to expand it into 4 locations, which are Hong Kong, Singapore, as well as India and China, is because of the responses or the demand from our client. And we are listening. Of course, we need to listen to our client. Because they want to get nearer to the market, they are saying that there are different relevant topics that is happening in their respective market and environment. And they feel that the events that we are organizing is quite insightful, and they would like us to bring it closer to them.
As a final thought for our listeners of this podcast, if a company could do one thing to start reinventing their benefit strategy, what would you suggest?
I'll still bring back to my previous answer, is to make a decision on wanting to change. I think there are a lot of ways we can help our clients in making changes. And again, bringing back to my point that we can be evolutionary. We don't need radical change. We just need that decision to take the first step, and then progressively we could make the workplace better. We could bring in programs or services that are relevant to the current workforce or to their multi-generation workforce, so that it can more effectively engage their workforce, and also to uplift the holistic health and well-being of their employee, so that we can truly bring that level of intelligence that will change the environment for their employee, and then to make the environment better. And that's really my ask for the listener, is to make a decision to want to change.
Cedric, it's a real pleasure having a chat with you today, and thank you for walking us through such a complex topic with so much clarity. The big takeaway for me and everyone listening is that I think there's a human touch and there's digital innovation in everything we do. And I think it's about weaving them together. You talked about taking action, you're talking about connecting things together, and that's how we really build programs that truly resonates with businesses and their workforce. So a huge thank you again, Cedric, for joining me, and all of you for listening. Until next time, stay tuned, stay curious, stay connected, take action.
Thank you.